bringing you news, politics, and whatever else tickles my fancy. Welcome to the Ho Ho Show, and I'm your host, Ho Ho. We're broadcasting live from the attic. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. You can follow me on Twitter. You can email me, hoho@thehohoshow.com. You can check out my YouTube channel and find me on Facebook. Telephone number, as always, 217-917-4405 if you want to call and be part of the show. A proud member of Weaponized Sloth Productions, so welcome to the Ho Ho Show. And as always, I'm your host, Ho Ho. And yes, I did actually get the call-in number fixed. I did. However, I was unable to get Spreaker to work properly. Still can't get that thing to work properly. I don't know what the heck the problem is. I messed with it and messed with it and messed with it last night. And messed with it and messed with it some more. Messed with it so bad that the thing wasn't working at all. I had to restore a previous thing of it and go all kinds of stupid stuff. But I at least got it working the way it was, almost the way it was supposed to. Minus not actually being able to record audio from the microphone. Yeah, it sucked. And of course, I am joined in studio again today by none other than Ray. How are you doing?
Hello. How are you?
I am doing well. This is going to be a relatively lighthearted episode. I mean, there's not really a whole heck of a lot in the news that we're really going to cover, but there are some, movie stuff and some other stuff and whatnot that I'm going to cover again today. Well, not again today, just cover more today.
I like movie stuff.
I do too. Movie stuff is fun.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we go ahead and dive right into it?
Let's dive right into it.
You sure?
Unless you don't want to.
I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet.
Countdown to Skynet.
Yeah, a week or two.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It's going to be awesome.
I don't like waiting.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into this.
Let's dive into it.
This next stop, rewind, play. This first article. This thing's actually kind of hilarious. I read this and I thought it was, I had to laugh. I really did. This thing came out of, well, before I get there, of course I am using Flipboard, which is my go-to hub for anything, everything, and all things news. Absolutely love it. I definitely recommend, looking into it. I mean, it is highly customizable. You can throw in there just whatever you are actually interested in, and it will give you all the news relevant to what you're looking for. So, and they got all kinds of categories and whatnot, completely customizable. If you're interested in news, movies, tech, books, computers, anything, it's just the go-to hub to do that. Available on Android, and I have no clue and don't even care if it's available on Apple. I could care less about Apple.
Huh.
Apple sucks.
Well, they did have Oregon Trail.
That wasn't Apple.
That wasn't Apple?
No, that was IBM.
Oh.
See? Your
Okay.
argument is invalid, sir.
IBM is great. Apple sucks.
Apple sucks.
Apple sucks.
So this headline comes out of the New York Post. And, oh yeah, before I get there, by the way, welcome, peoples.
Oh, you peoples. Oh, you usual peoples that are on here.
Welcome Twitch, YouTube, Facebook's, Periscope, and Mixer. There we go.
Hello.
I forgot the things of where I was going to. So this headline out of the New York Post. Headline is New York lawmakers' nutty cure for the Tide Pod Challenge. You heard me right. New York lawmakers are looking at writing a law in order to restrict Tide and regulate them into making Tide Pods less appetizing. Basically, the rundown is that they think that Tide hasn't done enough in order to make them less flavorful. So is what they want to do is write a law in order to, for them to make it taste bad. and I had no idea it tasted good. And basically they're saying that, because Tide hasn't done that they don't want to, because they don't want to lose the sales from the stupid people that's doing the Tide Pod Challenge. And I have a fix for this. If I was Tide, I would throw in a digestible only type of a chemical that would render whomever was dumb enough to eat it sterile. Because let's face it, we don't need these guys reproducing.
Right.
I'm just...
Yeah.
We really don't. Come on now.
That'd be less Democratic voters, though.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
You did.
Oh, okay.
Well, who knows? I'm sure there's Republicans stupid enough to do this too. But, that's just the thing, man. This is so ridiculous that you actually have a state that's going to write a law in order to force Tide to change the flavor of their Tide Pods.
Wow.
I can't believe this is even a thing. I really can't. This goes beyond, come on, guys. Really?
I think they're just trying to compete with California to be the stupidest lawmakers in this country, really. Because usually you get something nutty out of, California. But, New York gets kind of jealous of California sometimes, so they go, yeah, we got to be more stupid than they are, so let's make something up.
I guess so, man. I don't know. This is... that was just the wording of that of the article too. On it was just wow. Are you kidding me? What are you doing?
So are all these lawmakers going to taste test these Tide Pods before they actually make that law, or because how do they know if it's bad?
Yeah, how do they know that they've actually changed the taste?
Right.
Who's going to be the one that test that out? You got a point, because they can just say that, oh, yeah, we changed the flavor. It tastes horrible now.
Yeah, I think each of them needs to investigate a little further and actually, confirm that themselves. And, yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. That's the way to go. It kind of goes along with the whole, he who stirs the poo pot must lick the spoon. It kind of goes along the same line, So, if you're going to force Tide to change their flavor, then by golly, you should be the one tasting and making sure that they actually did it. Which means that they also have to taste it before and after the taste change.
Right.
Hey, you got to do a double whammy on this one. Mm-hmm. It just stands to reason. It's logical to me.
Yeah.
Why not? Wow.
And then after they all die of it, they can annex New York into Vermont or some other state.
No. We'll keep New York. Those stupid people will be out of there, hopefully. So, all right, next headline. This sucker comes out of the red state. Headline: Intelligent Jimmy Kimmel proves his stupidity by getting a gay wedding cake ruling completely wrong. Now, this headline, of course, is talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And for those of you that don't know, they are talking about a ruling that was done in California. And the judge actually, and I was actually kind of shocked on this one, the judge ruled in favor of the bakery, stating clearly that decorating a wedding cake is an artistic form, and of which case is a freedom of expression, a First Amendment right, supporting it. So no, you do not have to put art to cake and participating in that, and of which case I agree with it wholeheartedly. And one of the things that agitates the crap out of me as far as this argument goes, nobody wants to take this into any other direction besides a gay person and a Christian baker. Take that the other direction. Let's just reverse the roles on that. A Christian wedding couple or a Christian fundraiser or something of that nature going into a bakery owned by gay people and basically wanting a cake to promote their anti-gay march or anti-gay rally that they're about to do. I would not want, nor would I expect, that bakery to bake such a cake, to design such a cake. Right. I wouldn't do that. I would stand behind them wholeheartedly and defend their right to refuse service to anybody, which was a right that we used to have and exercise in this country.
Exactly. Or what about a black baker forced to bake a cake for the KKK rally?
Exactly. Heck no, you're not doing
going to
that.
force them to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think they have the right to refuse service as far as, hey, I want a cake. But just like the judge said, I can sell you a cake. I'm just not going to put the decorations
cake.
on
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you're talking two different. I mean, that's like going into a kosher bakery or a kosher food deli and asking for bacon. It's not going to happen, But is that wrong to, for a kosher deli to refuse to use bacon, or a kosher Subway to refuse to put bacon on their sandwiches or have ham in that sandwich? Is that wrong? Right. No, it's not wrong. It's a kosher bakery. You got the freedom of your religion, exercise it, and if you don't like it, don't shop there. That's freedom. Exercise it. Be happy, But the thing that Jimmy Kimmel does is he swings this in an entirely wrong direction, missing the point completely. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not watch this. The whole concept of it disgusted me. I didn't even want to watch it. I mean, it's Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. Since the days of the Man Show, and I wasn't even a huge fan of that show. I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan.
No, we talked about this before. Ever since the early days of Letterman and Carson and those guys, after that, talk shows and Tonight shows just kind of went downhill from there.
Oh yeah,
that's just in my opinion, but. They need to keep out of politics. They need to keep out of all that crap and just stick to comedy like they used to.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Carson show was great.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Martin, amazing. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, actually, the second episode of my next guest, which is the new series that David Letterman is doing on Netflix, is out, and he was interviewing George Clooney. Very good episode. And I actually liked and watched the first one that he did where he was interviewing Barack Obama. It was actually a very good interview.
Yeah.
I hate saying it, but it was non-political.
Yeah, Letterman's good if he sticks with
stays out of the politics. And, we discussed this a while back ago, too, that, in his later years, he was getting political, and that was one of his downfalls.
Right.
But, in his early days, he stayed away from it. He treated it like kryptonite, like a vampire in garlic, so. But back to Kimmel. He was, doing this skit where he was a waiter, and he refused to wait on a table with a gay couple, at the table because, it was a violation of his, religious freedom. It's like, no, you're an idiot. Right. And I mean, are these really, is this really what liberals are thinking that, the Republicans or, just Christians in general believe? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, these people are so close-minded as to not even listen to the argument because they want to paint us in the most negative light they possibly can.
Right.
I mean, if that was the truth, I would be against that Christian baker, but that's not even closely resembles what's actually going on here and what that case was even talking about.
Right.
I mean, it's just, that's part of it that's just hugely ridiculous to me.
And that's what you see a lot in a lot of stories, and I think we've talked about this before too, is, liberals like spinning a story out of its context of what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Just to further their agenda, further their base, further their, social idea. They'll take a story and just twist it as much as they can to where it's not what it is.
Right.
And it's
and that's just why I bode the question of, I mean, is this what they truly believe that we think?
Right.
Or is it they're just trying to paint us in the most horrible light they possibly can? And that just, it's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly am curious about that one. I mean, do you really think that we are that close-minded to truly believe that? I don't get it. I truly don't. Don't understand. Not at all.
Neither do I.
All right, next headline. This one comes from the New York Post again. Sweet. Headline, Albany's Dreamer Act puts illegal immigrants before New York citizens. Of course. I mean, come on. This was also very much one of them things that, truly came out of, Nancy Pelosi, refusal to stand during any part of the State of the Union address, and then standing for 8 freaking hours because she wanted DACA thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I mean, and that's one of them things too. And I'm just going to be blunt and honest about this. Okay. These guys, these states that are doing this, okay, this is not a state issue.
No, it's not.
This is a federal issue. Okay. It is absolutely a federal issue. This was taken out of the hands of the states. It is unconstitutional for them to have, and it is not their power. They do not have the authority to be a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. This stuff is completely against their powers.
Right.
They don't have the authority to do this. Not at all. None whatsoever. All the federal government has to do, and I think they should, totally deny them any money. Cut off funding to whatever program they're doing. Cut off, grants for whatever projects they have going on, and just cut them off. All right, just see how long it takes for them to sweat inside whenever the power shut off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they should do to them. That's very much what they should do to them. I mean, the sad matter is that, yes, California is it is an oceanfront property, but they are completely and utterly dependent upon the rest of the country in order to pay for the failed programs that they have going on in there.
Right.
They won't last. I mean, they're already basically in bankrupt. They're already basically a bankrupt state.
And that's why you see Northern Californians are trying to succeed from Southern California. They're already trying to get a referendum to make a portion of Southern California a separate state from the northern part, because they're basically tired of their crap in the south.
Right.
In the south,
That kind of same goes for the rest of us when it comes to Illinois.
right?
I don't like being associated with Cook County.
I don't either.
But yeah, I mean, all this stuff it's completely unconstitutional. Which was hilarious because that's one of the things that he was saying, that this whole, I'm kind of switching directions on this, and this was about yesterday with that guy that was suing Trump basically for the border wall, saying it was unconstitutional. How in the heck is that unconstitutional whenever the Constitution itself says that border security is a function of the federal government? Right. How is putting up a wall for the purpose of border security unconstitutional when it is specifically described for to have in the Constitution? I don't get it. That's retarded. But anyway, moving on. I don't want to get too much into the stupidity of these guys. More stinking immigration crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get you going.
This next headline, and of course it moved on me. There it is.
Ta-da.
This one comes from Fox News. Headline: Democrats ought to worry about the midterm elections. And, that's one of them things, guys, that, all right. What they're talking about in this article is, just different polls that they've been doing that, really show a very small margin as far as how far the Democrats are ahead of Republicans. I guess it's like 2% or 1% or something, and they, they factor in a bunch of stuff in there from previous, midterm elections and whatnot. And, and they're also being, telling how, these polls are specifically designed and are put in there to have a biased result favoring the Democrats, and acknowledging that. So they're already acknowledging that, yes, it may say that there's like a 2-point, favorability for the Democrats, but also saying, I have the hiccups, and also saying and acknowledging that these polls are wrong and they are biased. And so probably, The Republicans are the ones who are in the lead. But, you know, I mean, here's one of my things, and I'm going to be honest on this one. You know, no, not even mentioning the obvious, that, of course, it's a poll, and I do not put much weight in poll. But the other thing about that is, and I know I've discussed this on previous shows as well, that we, you know, I'm just, you take a look at what the Republicans have been doing recently, or I guess better said, what the Republicans have not been doing lately. You know, I mean, here they have gone against what they told us they were going to do, and they increased the debt ceiling by what could be like amount to like 1.5 trillion, you know, 320 or 321 million over the next 2-year increase, you know, which could add 1.5 trillion to the deficit. And they did this in the name of, they did this in the name of fully funding our military, which this has been like the biggest military funding. I mean, granted, this is a bonus. I mean, this is the highest military funding that they've had in like 17 years, if I'm not mistaken. You know, so they definitely get kudos on that. You know, good claps. They get kudos, but at the same time, you know, we had to sacrifice this huge overspending in order to make that happen. And that's just one of them things. I mean, here we are, the majority party in the House and the Senate. Why did we have to, you know, basically go out and seek what I think 76 votes from Democrats in order to get this budget done? I think it was like 76 Democrats that we had to get. You know, now, of course, on the good side about this is they took DACA completely off the table, and that's something they're supposed to be talking about, I think, next week, is DACA, which also I find absolutely hilarious, considering, you know, DACA was going to be their big bargaining chip to hold against the Republicans in order to force them to do what the Democrats wanted Republicans to do in the spending budget, and of which case they took it completely off the table. Now, of course, they did fully fund the government for, you know, another 2 years, which is cool, you know, great, fine, and dandy, you know. But now the Democrats have absolutely no leverage to put against the Republicans in order to get DACA passed.
Good.
So now it's like, so what do we want to give up?
Right.
You know, because, I mean, you know, I hate to say it, but especially looking at what Ron Paul's been doing. I mean, he's been very shaky on things. He hasn't stood with a very solid backbone on these type of things, you know. And it's just like, and I mean, I'm sorry, you know, if Republicans don't follow through with their campaign promises, the voters are not going to go out and elect them back into office. It just ain't going to happen. You know, we are going to lose seats if they don't do their job.
Right.
You know, as, you know, and I'm just being honest with you, as they should. Because I truly hope, you know, and this is a hope. This isn't an I know, this is an I hope that Trump, you know, let's say that we do lose the 2020, 2020. Okay. Let's say holy crap. Let's say we lose the 2020 elections. Okay. Let's say we lose them. We lose both the House, we lose both the Senate. You know darn good well the Democrats are going to try everything they can to, you know, raise the taxes. They're going to try everything they can in order to put back in to the, you know, as far as the Affordable Health Care Act, the mandatory, the mandatory sign-up thing to where everybody has to have health insurance and you get, you know, penalized for not having it, you know.
Basically, they'll revert everything back to Obama's era.
To exactly the way it was, yeah. And you know that's going to happen. And I truly hope that, a couple things happen. And this is one of the things that the article was actually talking about, that the people have seen, you know, within their own pocketbook, okay, money talks.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit walks. People are seeing the benefit to an adjusted tax code, additional tax breaks, raises in salary that wasn't done by a law enforcing regulations. It was done by a reduction in taxes on the corporate level, stimulating growth. A true stimulus plan. So people are seeing benefits that has been done the right way. Money in their pocket. Money talks, people. And that's one of the things that the Democrats are truly afraid of, is because the people have seen the benefits of a Republican-run economic system, that they are not going to allow or vote back into office to have money taken away from them in their pocketbooks.
Right.
As far as the people who have the jobs, not the people who, get the handouts from government. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you take that into consideration, especially whenever you have, a huge drop in, like welfare, the lowest unemployment rate in like 17 years, or 15 years or whatever that number was. I don't remember. But the economy has been directly affected in a positive way from Republican, tax cuts, economic system. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And that's what has the Democrats truly scared about this.
Yeah, and not touting Trump, but he has, pushed a lot of these things forward, and I think the only safeguard some of these Republicans that are on the edge for re-election is him. They're gonna some of these guys might skate by and win their seat again based on his performance, based on what the things him and his team has put forward. Not necessarily the congressmen themselves.
Right. Well, if this was an actual, primary election, then yes, I would totally agree with you. But, these same people that you're talking about whom would owe Trump their seat, they already owe Trump their seat.
Right.
They totally already do. But we're not talking about a primary election. We're talking about a midterm election. The people who voted for Trump, don't have to go out and vote for Trump again. They're going out for this guy, asking themselves a question: did he do his job? Mm-hmm. Did he do the job that I sent him to Washington to do? If the answer is yes, and if the answer is they don't want a Republican to go into that office and change things back to the way it was before they got there, then yeah, you're going to have a good turnout, and you have a very good possibility that the Republicans not only keep all their seats, but win even more.
Yeah.
But if you can't say that, the Democrats are on the verge of being able to, especially because of the tactics that they use, the Republicans are going to lose seats and probably lose both the House and the Senate. Because at this point, it's not about Trump. It's about them doing their job. Trump's done his.
Right.
Or at least he's been doing his. He's been working towards his goal. Congress, on the other hand, can't really say the same thing about them.
But because of what Trump has done, like you said earlier, they're just, I got more money in my pocket. I don't want to rock the boat, so I'm just going to keep things as they are. It would be because of Trump and his team, even though they're not necessarily directly doing it. I don't want to rock the boat. I got money in my pocket now, so I'm just going to keep Joe Blow, that's a Republican, in office because I don't want to risk it. And a lot of these people don't look at, which they should. They should look at each individual as far as their performance.
No, absolutely,
but they don't.
Well, yeah,
not everybody does that.
That's how you have a 6% unapproval rating of Congress in 2012, and damn near every single one of them got reelected back into office because people don't pay attention. They just go and mark the name. If it was Bugs Bunny, they would vote for him because that's the name they know.
Yep.
And it's a sad deal.
Very sad.
It's a very sad deal.
Sad.
I almost cried about that.
Well, don't cry. Cause
I shouldn't cry about that sad deal. Oh.
No, don't shed a tear.
Well, I guarantee you nothing.
Okay.
Yep. All right, guys. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return, I actually got to set this up just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Did
I'm
you
going to do that one song again that we listened to the other day.
did you notice this? I'm drinking out of your weaponized
Oh, yeah.
Sloth Productions mug.
Oh, I noticed. I also
It's
have
sexy.
my Machine Radio Show T-shirt downstairs. I did not throw that on, but I got it. I do. All right, guys. Couple minutes. We'll be right back.
I'll be 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 back. I'll be back. I'm back.
I believe that our problem has not been that anybody in our country is undertaxed. It's that government is overfed.
How you guys doing? Welcome back to the Ho Ho Show, and of course, I am your host. What's my name again? Oh yeah, Ho Ho. Ha.
You're all-
I'm so weird. Well, this next article, might as well just, what'd I do? Oh. I don't even know what the heck happened. That was weird. That was strange. That was different. Well. All right, this next episode. Wow. This next article. Where did that article go? I don't know. This next article. There it is. This sucker came from the Washington Post. Headline: Israel carries out large-scale attack in Syria after Israeli jet crashes under anti-aircraft fire. Now, it's one of them things that, with this one, there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of reports that still isn't quite in yet. In a matter of speaking, they're not sure if the drone fired upon it or if it was just kind of one of the things, wrong place, wrong time. They don't know if necessarily the Russian or not Russian, if the
Iranian.
yeah, thank you, Iranian drone was armed. What actually caused it. But either way you look at it, the Syrian drone was in Israeli airspace. It did cause an F-16. Was it F-16? I think it was F-16. It caused a F-16. F-16. Where are you at? I will find you. I will find you, my precious. I think it was an F. Yeah, there it is, right there. F-16. It did cause an F-16 fighter jet to crash. So, and then in which case they launched, a bombing thing.
Good sound effects.
Thank you. You like that? Mm-hmm. See, I don't use Spreaker for my sound effects. I just make them up my own self.
All right.
So anyway,
Wow.
It's one of the things that, all right, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, already off air. And, it's definitely one of them things. Things are heating up. It's just kind of sit back and wait to see how it takes off, what actually happens, stuff of that nature. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, just we don't really know what's going on yet. There's just Benjamin Netanyahu is, he's not really saying a whole heck of a lot. And, that's one of them things. It's, as far as he's concerned, it's a matter of national security to keep his mouth shut.
Right.
And, defend this country the way he has to defend his country. And of which case, he should be. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we've talked a lot about this before, and just to reiterate some things we've said, people don't understand how quickly that situation over there can escalate rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
People got to understand Russia and Syria are close allies. Mm-hmm. Russia and Iran are chummy allies. Iran hates Israel. Syria hates Israel. We like Israel. It could get ugly real quick. Not saying this is going to happen, but we're closer today to nuclear war than what we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh, yeah.
This is Syria, the whole Syria-Iranian-Israel connection here is a potential flashpoint. Now, everybody's focused on so much on North Korea, mm-hmm. which is a possibility as well. But this is just as potential as what the North Korea situation is. If one wrong thing goes haywire or a certain way, it could get ugly real quick.
No, that's the thing. You've got, Israel, which is the lone, democratic country over there that is surrounded by people who basically don't think they have the right to exist and wants to destroy them and take over their land. That's just the way that it is over there. That's been the temperature over there as far back as modern history goes.
Right.
That's just the way that it's been over there. So, whenever you have countries like, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Turkey, just above Syria. You've got, those nations right there that completely hate Israel. And especially when you got Iraq looking to be, for nuclear weapons.
Yeah. And not trying to get into the religious show, because save that for tomorrow. But, this is all prophesied in Ezekiel 38 and a lot of places in Revelation. It talks about Gog and Magog going after Israel.
Right.
Which that, is Russia. One of them is Russia. And it talks about Syria, Damascus being left in rubble.
Yeah, because the Starks, Eddard Stark is specifically mentioned in Revelations. The king of the north.
So all this stuff is it's happening for a reason. It's coming together, and the crap is going to hit the fan at some point. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, or next year, eventually this is all going to culminate to a flashpoint. And you ask your pastor tomorrow, at church tomorrow, or ask anybody in the know as far as biblical prophecy and stuff like that, and it's going to happen. It's a matter of when. And you're laughing your butt off about something, and I'm scared. So while you collect yourself there,
I got a text message from somebody making fun of me.
They never do that.
No, not at all.
No.
I don't even see what the. That's hilarious.
Can you share that or not? Can't see that far.
Let's just say he's making fun of my hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
They should have seen your
it.
hair before the show yesterday.
Oh, my
oh, wow.
God, that was going...
Yeah.
Lego? What's a Lego? What are you talking about? Gotta love that autocorrect. Oh, yeah, my hair yesterday was going... I mean, it looked like I had put my finner...
Your finner?
In a light socket.
Yeah.
And it just went all over the place. You know, I tell you what though, when I was in junior high, I'm pretty sure I wet the bed and stuck my finner in the light socket because whenever I woke up one morning, my hair was, I mean, it was worse than Albert Einstein. I mean, it was worse than young Frankenstein. It was just, and I looked in the mirror and I just laughed. And then I went to the sink and just slicked the sides back, left it sticking straight up and all frizzy and everything, and I went to school. I mean, it was just the best bad hair day I had ever had. It was a good time. It was great. I absolutely loved it. I have no idea what happened that day as far as anybody asking me, you know, about getting electrocuted, you know, shocked. But, I mean, it was great. It was funny. I laughed very hard.
Right.
It was great. Next story.
Wow.
It was a good time, man. I'm telling you. It was a good time. All right, this next article comes from, talking a little bit about North Korea now with NBC News headline, North Korea says it is unable to pay UN dues and it blames sanctions. Oh, wham.
Well,
You know, if they wouldn't be all, you know, bad
stupid.
teenagers throwing a fit and getting grounded, they'd be able to go to work and pay them bills.
maybe we ought to send him some Tide Pods.
Just before or after we have them, you know, put the chemical in there to sterilize people.
We won't say.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, if these guys weren't so being babies and getting grounded, they'd be able to go to work and pay them sanctions off. So, I mean, hey, I don't blame anybody but them. You know, they stomp their feet and they're throwing their little fit, and now they're like, oh, well, we can't pay our money because you guys threw sanctions on us. Looks like you guys ain't getting paid.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't know the breakdown as far as how much they pay, but
No, I have no clue.
you know, as we talked about in the past, the U.S. pays the majority of the UN bill anyway. And
Oh, so they owe $184,000
oh wow,
apparently.
and how much do we pay? Probably a crap ton more.
Add about 5 zeros to that.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
I know we paid the majority, and my thoughts on the UN are, it sucks. Get rid of it. Start over.
No one ever, you know, it just kind of seems to me that nowadays all you really have is all these other countries that wants to whine and cry to us about either not doing enough charity and wants to basically make us to where, you know, we just accept, open up our borders, do this, that, and the other, and just kowtow to all the other nations' desires and wants and needs.
Right.
And we give them everything. And we pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we throw this huge party. We buy a big old party house. We buy a business. We buy it with seats. We fill it with chairs. We buy it tables and fill it with chairs. And we invite all these people in and we pay their way for them to come into the UN. And then they sit in there and they're going to tell us how they want us to operate. And we're supposed to take it. And we pay for this.
Right.
And that's more or less what the UN really seems to me. They don't really do anything anymore. You know, I don't even know why we're a part of it. I really don't. You know, that's one of them things I still don't get. Nobody's been able to give me a good answer as far as today why we're even a part of it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, moving on, because I don't want to go too much into the weeds with that one. You know, I held a lot of that one back. Could have been a good burp like the one I had earlier.
Oh, the one off air?
Oh, yeah, that
wow.
was a good, that was a good.
You would have hurt somebody's ears.
That was a good burp, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually kind of proud of that one. I was kind of saddened because I wanted to come out the other end.
No, because I would not be here. I would be exiting real
we
quick.
will be coming back onto the air with our, our little
Hazmat
makeshift biohazard masks that we, because that was a good time.
Not really, but
Well, it was a great time.
not for me. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, it singed my nose hairs too.
You got some paint job to do because some of the paint fell off the wall last night.
Yeah. Well, dude, look right there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all that.
Uh-huh.
Man.
Wow.
The things my butt does to paint.
It was the gerbil.
Could have been. I'm just glad it was dead. I mean, if that thing was alive, could you imagine it trying to scratch its way out of there? Man.
Anywho.
This next headline comes from Market Watch. Headline: Opinion. This stock market sell-off is creating a rare opportunity to buy Apple on the cheap. So we were talking about this a little bit yesterday with the the stock market correction with the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Is that the one I couldn't say yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, the NASDAQ. Following, the 10% correction that they had. And, it's one of the things that, we did allude to this yesterday. That now, it's one of them things, the stock market is very good on cycles, and you pay attention to what the cycles are. It's a very good indicator on what to do next. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it helps to have capital to invest. But either way you look at it, and this thing's talking specifically about Apple. But the fact of the matter is you can apply this to any one of those who has been affected by the stock market correction.
Right.
It's going to go down. Pay attention to the trend. Buy cheap, sell high. That's how you do it.
That's how it's done.
That's how you make monies. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, there's S&P 500. Whoa. It just did its whole... It did it again. Dude, it's even throwing, numbers and stuff in here.
Wow.
Look at that.
Mr. Fancy Pants over there.
Right? 75.78 for Exxon Mobil.
So what does it show what Apple is trading for right now?
I don't know. What's that say? Apple Incorporated. It is... Actually, yes, it does. It looks like, at least maybe today at some point in time, then this is NASDAQ. Stock code AAPL. It is at $156.41. It is trading 1.89 points up, and that is a 1.22% increase. There we go. Let's see. It opened at. Well, that's not weird. That's weird. It opened at 157.07, and it had a high of 157.89, a low of 150.24, the PE ratio, whatever that is.
So basically for about $156.80, you get one share of stock in Apple.
Oh, right now it's 156.41.
Oh, what's it? 56.41.
You stand corrected.
Yes. Well, actually,
You sit corrected.
I was off by 39 cents.
And but really, from the looks of it, though, it dating back to the 17th, it was at 179 something, and now it looks like they might be going into their decline.
Right.
And the decline got as low as looks like 150.55. Well, that was still the 17th. You know what? Never mind. I was thinking this was a different scale that wasn't just, like a couple. Oh, wait, no, that was October. Never mind. Okay, let me go back to what I was saying. Oh, that's 9. Oh, wow.
But what you're saying is it's not just Apple
September
that has
25th.
these corrections going on, which if like you said, you got some capital and some money to spend, it's a good idea to shop around and get you some stocks for cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that it was talking about yesterday. The Dow Jones went down 1,000 points at the start of the correction, and by closing bell on Friday, it had already gone up 350 points.
Right.
So so definitely there was more than one affected by this. And if it's already on the uptick, from what it sounds like it is, it's already gone up, roughly, just over 30%, 31%, it's already gone up. So, And generally, whenever they go up higher than what they was before they crashed. So, I mean, you're still talking being able to make money
Right.
on it, even if it's already at a 30%, saving itself getting out of the,
Yeah.
pool, plummet, water thing.
And people that have a lot of extra capital, the people that have a lot of extra cash on hand, these are the type of people who are going to make a crap ton of extra money by they wait for that crash, like you said, and then they buy and then let it go back on the uptick, and then they'll make some money at it. But I don't got the extra capital, so I'm not going to make too much money.
Right. Oh, I don't have the capital either. It's a good time though. And yes, I definitely need Dr. Pepper. If I was on, well, no, I'm not. What do you mean out? Out of what? No, I'm not out. I'm home. I don't leave until next week sometime to go to Canada. Yes, I'm going to Canada next week. Canada. Talking to Canadians.
Oh.
Canadians. Nah. Blah humbug. It's winter. Although, I'm hoping that the weather actually starts to warm up a little bit. I mean, this is February.
Right.
And yes, I had to look at my clock to know what month it was. The watch thing that I wear on my wrist. Why do they put a W at the beginning of wrist? I mean, it's clearly pronounced with an R. Hook it on Pahonix, work it for me.
Why they put a K on knife, or
To confuse people. Don't you know?
or a W on sword?
Well, I say sword.
Sword.
I say sword. I pronounce that W. You're not putting a silent letter on there just to confuse me. No, sir, you're not.
Sword.
Sword. A diamond sword.
You got a diamond sword.
I got a
sword.
safety torch.
Safety torch.
Put it on the front porch.
Safety torch.
And I also, this morning for breakfast, I had a nugget. And then I grabbed a biscuit. And then I put the nugget in the biscuit and I dipped that in mashed potatoes. And then I dipped the mashed potato covered chicken nugget biscuit in the barbecue sauce.
Yum, yum, give me. Look it up on YouTube, folks. Diamond sword, safety torch, and nugget and a biscuit. That is your homework for
Tobuscus,
tonight.
guys. Nugget and
That
a
is your
biscuit.
homework.
And if you really want to torment and torture somebody, all right, and I highly recommend doing this, because you can find a 10-hour looped video. So is what you do is you go to your favorite, electronics store, Best Buy, Walmart, you name it. And you go to any laptop and all of them of your choosing. You have to grab a bunch of your friends in order to properly synchronize each and every computer. And then you plug it in and you play Nugget and a Biscuit for a 10-hour loop on every single one of them and then lock the stick and thing so it continues to play. Good times. Not like I would ever do
You
this.
would never do that.
Never, ever, 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 ever.
Wow. So
I hope nobody from Best Buy is watching.
Are you still banned from that one shop, or have they let
Yes.
you back in?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When I return, we've got some awesome movie stuff coming up. A couple up and comings that I had watched. A little bit of discussion that we're going to have on some other stuff that's really, really cool. And then we're going to talk about something doing dealings with some netter flickers, nutty bars,
In the Force.
and the Force that will awaken you
Yes.
because you're alone. I think we're solo now.
I'm going to go get a drink while he sings.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing anymore. Actually, I got to pull up the right window so I can do this. There we
Yes.
go. All right, a few minutes, guys. We'll be right back.
I'll be 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 back. I'll be back.
I'm back.
I'm not singing that song right now. Maybe later. It might pop up into my mouth because now since you put the stinking song in my head, Mr. Wiseman, it's a very good possibility that it's going to come out of my mouth. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into this stuff that I've got written down right here. So, I don't know if y'all are aware of this. I have got Netflix. I like Netflix. Netflix is awesome. It's got all kinds of stuff in there. And one of the things it's got in there, at least I thought it was pretty cool. Well, okay, stop, rewind, play. This headline, which comes from Geek.com, it says, the best action movies on Netflix streaming. And some of these I knew were on here. Some of them I didn't. Let's see, one of them, City of God. I haven't even seen that one. Looks like September 2017 is when it came out. I ain't seen it. Have you seen that, City of God? No? He hasn't seen it either. Let's see, Gladiator. I didn't know they put that one on there. Good movie. Excellent movie. By the way, Joaquin Phoenix, I seen a thing out there that there's another guy that's actually, that's wanting to play the Joker in the next standalone Joker movie. But anyway, IP Man, which I knew that was on there. And actually, IP Man 2 and IP Man 3 is on there as well. Just so you know. Lethal Weapon, amazing movie. Actually, they might actually have all those on there, but I'm not sure about that. Battle Royale. What the heck is Battle Royale? I have no idea. I ain't seen it. Django Unchained. I ain't seen that one either. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. That could be funny. Superman 2, didn't know that was in there. The Full Metal Jacket, I knew that was in there. That's an awesome movie. Bloodsport, which is also a very epic, very good movie. And that one guy that plays, the bad guy.
With his eyes bugging out.
Yeah, that guy. Bolo Ying. Yeung. They need another vowel in there, There's not enough vowels in there. And it looks like they removed Drunken Master 2 out of there, and looks like they removed Dread. I like Dread. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Drag Queen. Looks like they removed that one. Never seen that movie either. Blade 2, that was in there? Oh, you can stream that one on Amazon Video. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, all right. Anyway, apparently I wasn't reading the headlines good enough on that one. Just throw something in there that, just does stuff like that to you. Now, this next one, comes from The Verge, or The Verge, if you speak French, kind of like fragile.
Is that how they speak in French Canada when you're up there?
French Canadian, yes.
Canadian.
This headline, new trailers for... Okay, that's not the headline that was back here. The headline back here said, 9 new trailers that you should watch this week. Now, those that I am actually interested in seeing, I watched them. Good trailers. Hilarious. I like them. Especially the first one on this list, which is Deadpool 2, Meet Cable. It was a good one, though. It was a good... It was funny. Of course, Deadpool trailer. You would expect nothing more than Ryan Reynolds doing some funny stuff. And then, of course, the blind woman is still in there. And she even holds a gun and points it at somebody. She doesn't know that she's pointing it at him, but, she guesses.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you get the blind guy in Star Wars, and now you got blind guy girl in this movie.
Well, yeah, but at least in, Star Wars, the blind guy was using the Force.
Right. Well, how do you know she's not kind of like... partially a Jedi.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Not even a little bit. This next one, I like. Okay, this one, yes, I want to see this movie because this movie is just amazing and awesome just because it's got to be. With a name like Venom.
You dinged.
I did ding.
Or you vibrated.
I vibrated. I dingabrated.
You dingabrated?
Dingabrated. Wow,
Ooh,
that's a new...
That is the word for the night.
One. Dingabrated.
It sounds contagious.
I'm not going to bop it. I am not bopping it. Bopping bopping it.
What are you bopping?
She all right. No, I'm not. No, So this trailer, she like twist it and then she'll bop it, and ooh, I shouldn't say it like that. My elbow thingy, I almost called it something else. I almost called it the medical term, which you really shouldn't call it the medical term.
So Venom.
Venom.
Yeah.
And amazing. Okay. I want to see the movie. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing as long as they do it right. Come on. Sony Pictures is doing it. I'm sure they will. But the trailer did look pretty awesome. But the only thing that it's like that it didn't do that I really wished it would have done is given me at least a tiny little snapshot, snippet, little flash of hidden cinematic amazingness for Venom, because you don't actually see Venom. It's just the guy that plays Venom,
right.
And it's showing his craziness before the crazy comes out, so, granted, good trailer, and it was just a teaser trailer, so I'm sure there's going to be more coming out here shortly.
So did you get teased?
I got teased.
You got teased.
Yes. And let's see, does it even give a release date on this one? Nothing that I see. But yes, I can't wait for this movie to come out. I've been wanting to see a Venom movie ever since the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 failure of a movie. Yeah. Anyway, the next one, Marvel's Jessica Jones Season 2, which I haven't seen any of Season 1. The next movie that's on here is Solo, a Star Wars story official teaser. And this one does look pretty good. A couple of the things the guys say on here, it looks like they're trying too hard. I don't know. I thought it looked pretty good, and especially considering who Han Solo is. Nothing of what he did was outside the character of what you would expect from Han Solo. I mean, come on, And one of the things I actually thought was pretty neat on this is that, Harrison Ford was, giving the dude that's playing Solo a lot of help in his character development.
Right. That'd be good.
Yeah, he did. He's
a lot
been
of the mannerisms and how to respond to things and do this and that. Yeah.
And he taught him Chewbacca's language, which is very important. Because if you can't talk to your co-star, I mean, you're going to have a lot of problems. So, I mean, Han Solo or Harrison Ford really helped him out with Chewbacca. Because he's a genuine alien from, whatever planet he comes from. So, I mean, they had to throw an interpreter in there. And who better to be the interpreter for Chewbacca than the guy who originally played Han Solo in the original movies?
Yes.
What better way to do it? I can't believe he still looks the same. I mean, he hasn't gotten gray or nothing. Chewbacca looks amazing.
Well, he uses L'Oreal. Did you see that one post? You know the one I'm talking about, don't you?
No, I have no clue, but it was just great that you took it. That was a good job, sir.
There was a little meme like last year on
it's called meme.
Meme, yeah.
It's not a meme.
I call it meme.
You're not Roadrunner, dude. It's not meme.
Meme. Anyway, there was a picture of the standard L'Oreal color your hair thing, except with a hot woman
sure
behind it.
It's not Maybelline?
No, it was L'Oreal. This time.
Maybe she was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Anyway, but they had the standard
it.
thing, but instead of a hot woman, they had Chewbacca.
Uh-huh.
So it was, that's why I said when you said
no,
Chewbacca still looks good, no gray, yeah.
Now this next movie,
yeah,
I definitely want to see it, and I might have actually missed a movie or two in here. So actually, I haven't seen Rogue Nation yet. At least I don't think I've seen Rogue Nation. But of course, I'm talking about Mission Impossible, and this next one that's coming out in July 27th of this year is Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, this trailer is pretty cool. Now, just so you guys know, and this I'm just telling you, spoiler alert, Tom Cruise runs in this movie. I know,
Say
right?
It's not so.
It is so true, man. It's horrible. I mean, he doesn't run like, Forrest Gump. Anywho, he runs. But one of the things that I thought was just watch the trailer, guys. I mean, it's actually is a pretty good trailer. I like what they've done with the Mission Impossible. It's almost one of them things that they've kept going and kept going and kept going. But I mean, they're still pretty decent, though. I mean, all said and done. But this one has been different from any of the other Mission Impossible movies that I've seen so far, in that he has a lot of accidents in this one.
Really?
Normally he gets on a bike, he drives it like a champ. This one, he gets in a bike and he wrecks. He gets in a car and he wrecks. He runs down the street and gets hit by a car. He flies a helicopter and he runs into a semi. I mean, he's just getting tore up in this one.
He's just having a bad day.
He evidently did not eat his Wheaties. He woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He should have just went back to bed. After the first wreck, I'm done. I'm out. Go back to bed. That's the perfect fix for any day.
Right.
But he didn't do that. But yeah, I watched the trailer and it's like, dude, he wrecks a lot in this one. Spoiler alert. But you can see that on the trailer. I guess I should say spoiler alert before I say the spoiler. That he wrecks a lot?
Usually, yeah.
Is that how you're supposed to do that?
That's how you usually
Crap.
do it. Did they have the little thing, this message will self-destruct in 10 seconds type
No.
deal? No.
Well, at least not in the trailer.
Not in the trailer. Okay.
No.
Da-da.
It still has Ving Rhames in it.
Nice.
Yeah. And that one dude's in it. Scotty's in it.
Really?
I like Scotty.
Beam me up.
He doesn't beam anybody up, though.
Oh.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it anyway. I mean, he didn't say the line at any rate. All right, the next one they have in here is Westworld Season 2. I haven't watched any of Season 1.
I've never heard of it.
Hey, that's HBO.
That's probably why I haven't heard of it.
That could be. I got HBO. Now, this next one. Now, again, I might have missed one or two of these, but this trailer does look pretty stinking cool so far. And I am talking about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This one hits June 22nd. I didn't taste very good. June 22nd. The trailer looks pretty good. This one does look pretty sweet. It looks like they do No, I can't say that. I can't say that. They did kind of what they did on that one movie with introducing a different... I can't say that. It's a really neat trailer. I recommend watching it. Really trying not to get spoilers on that. Anyway, the next one on this list, Hard Sun, nah. The next one on this list is a movie that is done by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Another movie by him. Now, this was actually kind of cool because he's like... It's actually pretty cool because he's, as you can see in this picture, he's flying from a crane into a skyscraper. And wouldn't you know it, the name of the movie is Skyscraper.
Wow, what a coincidence.
What a quinkadink. That just reminds me, there was a, this was whenever this movie came out a long time ago that had that one guy in it from that other movie, SWAT, where he was with that chick that, did the things to him. And, he was complaining because he's like, the entire movie takes place in a phone booth. And I'm like, dude, you didn't watch a movie entitled Elevator. What do you freaking expect? Of course, I'm referring to the movie Phone Booth. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, it's titled Phone Booth. I mean, it's like the people that were complaining about the movie Wyatt Earp. I mean, it was all about Wyatt Earp.
Snakes on a plane.
I am sick and tired of these. I can't say that.
No. Yeah.
And it takes place all on a plane. Apparently, they was confused about a movie entitled Phone Book with it being placed in or taking place in a phone booth.
Right.
Did I say phone book?
Yes, you did.
I thought I said phone book. My ears caught up to what my mouth said, and my brain goes, stupid.
Now you might want to clarify for your younger viewers what a phone booth actually is.
Well, back in the day, this was back in the day when dinosaurs actually roamed the earth. We had those when I was a child. In fact, I didn't have a pet dog. I had a pet T-Rex, and it was really cool. So, so this was, Moses was one of my bestest buds. He was a good guy. I met George Washington, amazing cat. I just called him a cat. That was great. Anywho, You know, and this was one of them things that, I mean, the best movie Superman, you know, because he changes in a phone booth, I think. He still does that. Oh, no, wait, he walks past the phone booth. It was like a half booth, and he goes,
Yeah.
that ain't going to work. And then he just keeps going. You know, and then he goes into an elevator, doesn't have an elevator, and the elevator shaft, and he flies up and at him. And, you know, the elevator was above him because it didn't have the cables behind him. But for some reason, whenever he flew up and out, the elevator wasn't, you know, so apparently the elevator kind of went, ducked out of the way, like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with his nice little, you know, Wonkavator. And these are the things that I noticed in that movie that was absolutely amazing. Trying to reel me back in, that ain't going to work anyway. Phone booths. You know, this was before the days of cell phones, whenever we didn't have those. And we had to rely on payphones. And used to, on the sides of the street, they'd have these little bitty boxes that was just wide enough for a skinny guy to pop into and make a call. If he was a fat guy, you just had to reach in, grab the phone, and hope it was long enough to get to your head on the outside. That's how they were, you know, because they were not fluffy friendly. Actually, most people, never mind. So that's what a phone booth was. So that concludes my Netflix stuff on that and the craziness and the stuff. So, yeah. This next one came from SR, whatever SR is. What is SR? Series review, maybe?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't remember. It's one of them places that does videos on YouTube and whatnot. And the headline is, here's every single Star Wars project in the works, write me out. And yes, they spell that N-O-W. They don't put meow in there. Yep. So, of course, I'm sure a lot of these that everybody's familiar with, you know, you got the Han Solo coming out. Mm-hmm. You have Episode 9 coming out.
Right.
And they also mentioned an additional trilogy that they're going to be doing, you know, that is going to be based around the Star Wars whatever in a place that hasn't blah, blah, blahs and yada, yadas in there, you know. And another one where they're looking at doing and this is through Disney streaming, you know, doing a few series based in the Star Wars universe. And they also were talking about another trilogy that some guy is going to be doing that was like a director, directed a few episodes of Game of Thrones. Nothing is known about where he's going on that one. And, of course, you know, you've got, you know, talks about an Obi-Wan movie, which is going to have Ewan McGregor in it, or at least that's what the word has been on it. A standalone Yoda movie, even talking about a Boba Fett movie, which I've heard about that one. And then one that I thought was completely and utter ridiculous, a Jabba the Hutt, a standalone, which is going to kind of like have his parents in it or, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, talking about how he grew up from a little bitty slug into a big, huge monster slug is what they're going to be talking about on that one. You know, I don't even know why they would do it like that. I mean, you got quite a bit of that kind of stuff that's going to be in the Han Solo movie as it is already.
Right.
You know, so I don't even know where they were getting off on even talking about a Jabba the Hutt movie unless it was just going to be, you know, not exactly a standalone, but like almost a continuation or even a prequel, if you even want to call it that, to the Han Solo movie. It just doesn't quite make sense to me that you'd even do a Jabba the Hutt. But those are just some of the things that they were talking about as far as in the works. And, of course, the last ones that I mentioned, it's not necessarily grab the wrong ones.
Or maybe what they'll do is they'll make the Han Solo movie and then add on a second Han Solo movie based more around Jabba.
Yeah, true. But really the Obi-Wan, the Yoda, and the Boba Fett and the Jabba the Hutt, those are more like rumored things that really haven't been substantiated all that much, with the exception of the Obi-Wan movie, with actually having, you know, the rumor of Ewan McGregor doing Obi-Wan again. But the rest of them, it's like, don't really know how much that's just talk.
Right.
And, you know, unverified and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious. But, you know, one of the things that I'm, and we've talked about this before, that I'm leery about with Star Wars, you know, Disney's going to be milking this for every single dime it's worth.
Right.
And the thing that I don't want them to do is, you know, basically make a movie just to make a movie. You know,
That's what we talked about before.
Yeah.
Is and even Mark Hamill has alluded to this in his interview of the last Star Wars movie. Is
right. And I didn't even see that interview. You know, because I haven't
Yeah.
seen episode 8 yet.
and he said, it's not about the quality anymore. It's about the money,
Right.
and that's what it boils down to.
Well, and the sad thing is, I mean, it's one of them things that, you know, and this is just a sad state of affairs with what everybody is doing in the industry right now. I mean, this isn't just Disney. This is every single one of them. They're doing the same thing. You know, they're paying top dollar for actors. They're paying top dollar for special effects and for just the cinematic awe and, you know, the 3D effects in the theaters and this, that, and the other. But they're not paying the top dollar to the writers and that, you know, with that direction. So, I mean, they're going overboard with special effects and they're paying a lot of money for the, you know, well, I mean, I can't really say that for, you know, the Star Wars movies because they, you know, in the last one, they used a lot of no-name people in there. I mean, they really did. You know, I mean, the Harrison Ford and Jamie Lee Curtis was the only two people in there that were like really A-name actors and actresses. Yeah, actresses, you know, because of course Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean, that was an amazing movie. You know, that was back in the day before she did Halloween back in 1978, you know.
You went there.
Fisher, what's her first name? Kate?
Carrie
Fisher, okay. I had the Fisher part right. I just couldn't get the rest of it. I'm like, what in the world is her name? You know, but I mean, that just seems to be, you know, a downfall of where the movie industry is right now is they spend all their money in actors and special effects, but, you know, they're not taking the time to really throw in a good catching plot.
Right.
You know, I mean, heck, it took them 3 movies to tell the story of, you know, the Hobbitses. You know, and all they did was went there and back again. That's all they did. You don't even need a full sentence to say a Hobbit's Tale. Oh, okay. Just to throw the head title and the subtitle, sure, but to just throw the subtitle in there and back again, it doesn't even take a full sentence. So why does it take 3 freaking movies to say there and back again, a Hobbit's Tale?
Money.
By Bilbo Baggins. Dude, speaking of J.R.R. Tolkien and R.K. Rowling, R.R. Rowling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Anyway, I had heard something, read an article about, did you know? Now, this is for those Harry Potter fans out there. You know, Harry Porker, Spider Pig. He does whatever a Spider Pig can. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out. Here comes a Spider Pig. Anyway, Professor Dumbledore, according to what she had said in an interview talking about the prequels that they're doing to the Harry Potter sequels, Dumbledore was gay.
Really?
That's what she said.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess there was a lot of fan blow up about that one. It's like, dude, there was absolutely no indication of that in any of the movies. And even so far, she has said with what she's done so far, that there's nothing in his character, in his demeanor, in his mannerisms that even indicate that he's gay. But she has just decided that he's going to be gay. It's like, really? You can't just make a character a character. I watched the trailer today for the new season that's on Netflix. You know, Queer Eye.
Okay.
Now, whenever they first had that out, you know, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, I think is what that was called. You know, I'd heard that was a really good TV series, but I didn't watch any of that because at the time I wasn't watching network television. So,
Right.
You know, I might actually give this one a go because it looks rather entertaining. It really does. It looks quite fun.
I'll take your word for it. What's it all entail?
I don't know. I just watched the trailer. That doesn't tell me anything.
The trailer doesn't tell you nothing?
Well, I mean, it's got some guys in there and they do some stuff and they're like, hey, and stuff like that. But I mean, I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing and where their hands were at. I didn't want to know. It was funny because I was talking with it with my roommate and he was like, I don't need to watch that show. Like, we got Tink. I'm like, right? If we just come here, give me a makeover.
I talked about this with my sister and her friends, and I think this would apply to all of us here too. Get like body cameras and just like start recording.
Oh God, no!
Recording different things that these folks here don't see on air, and then like upload it, edit it, and upload it to YouTube. We can make millions, man. Millions.
I would have to do a lot. You say that, but they truly do have, and they're even stylish now. Google has the GugaVision.
GugaVision?
GugaVision. I have no idea if that's the actual name of it or not. But, yes, they have this. I guess I should look at my chat room. I haven't done that in a while. Oh, yeah, I do have new... Wow.
Oh, you got a few.
Damned ADD, that's right. There's a... Doing both rounds. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then if I did that, people, I'd upload it and people think, oh, that's all scripted. No, this is how people really are off air. Yeah.
Because that's the sad thing, man. I mean,
nobody believes us.
Those that actually, dude, it was funny because, one of my coworkers, he's one of the newer guys. And, he thought that there's no way I'm actually like this.
Oh, yes, yes.
And until he was, talking with me on the phone when I was talking with somebody else. And it's like, I stand corrected. And it's like, yes, you are. Because I am completely this weird. And even more so.
I was about to correct you on that. Because you're pretty reserved and, constrained while you're on air.
I have my moments.
Compared to...
I mean, I still let the ADD fly, but man, I've had some just weird happenings.
Quake your steak and lube.
Oh my God, that place was amazing. I'm actually very, very saddened at the fact that the one up in Springfield closed.
I still swear I've never seen your eyes get as big as they were when you first walked in there.
I mean, I couldn't talk for the first 5-7 minutes I was there. I mean, it was like. The angels were singing in heaven. And while I was eating my food, I actually had to get up a couple times and go look at something and inspect what it was I was seeing on the wall. I had to take breaks from my food. Fat kid, and I couldn't just sit there and eat because my ADD was kicking in, making my feet want to move, and I had to go to the wall and be like, wow.
Yeah, that's one.
Or look underneath the car.
I had that body camera and it could have recorded you. That would have been amazing.
Oh, that would have been a good time.
Yeah.
That would have been a good time.
I wonder how much body cameras are. I mean,
they're not that expensive. They're actually pretty cheap. Well, I mean, like I was saying, with the GugaVision glasses you can get, those are relatively cheap.
Yeah, we need to look into
that. And they link into your, I'm pretty sure they link in your smartphone and whatnot. So
that could be a project for Weaponized Sloth Productions.
I don't know about all that though, man, because I don't.
We'd have to do some serious editing once in a while. But...
based off of what Medea has taught me. Because Medea is a very wise and lovely woman. She teaches you all kinds of things about life and peoples. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that she says is you can't just, you can't just, just let all your crazy out at one time. You got to slowly put it in there. You scare them off otherwise,
there's some things we probably couldn't upload, especially if certain people we know are swinging left or right once in a while. In the dress.
Oh my God! Yeah,
yeah, we can't upload that. At least not from the waist down.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah.
So, yeah, we'd have to do some editing.
But at least I wasn't the one that was getting the lap dance on that one.
And for the record, I wasn't either.
Well, you wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
You should feel very happy that you was not there.
I do
that
feel
was
happy. That was quite a night, I heard.
it was wow. I mean, he was embarrassed about his underbritches because his underbritches had holes in them. So of course the obvious fix for not wanting somebody to see your underbritches because they're holy is you just flat take them off.
Right.
So that's what his fix was. Obviously, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. And it all went downhill from there, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like going to, like your Big Ben, and you hear the bells, the ding, the ding, the ding, the ding. Yeah.
Ding, dong, ding. Wow.
Hello, my favorite redhead. How are you doing?
I am going to. That'll be our mission. I'll look into cameras and as far as what we can do off-air stuff.
Right. Well, guys, we are going to call that the show.
Can't top that one.
That was some things. The things we talk about. I mean, really.
That's on air.
Yeah,
Yeah, trust me, it gets crazier off air.
Sometimes.
Yes. Good times, though.
Well, guys, I do thank you very much for watching, tuning in. If you like the show, like it, and subscribe, and all that other kind of good
Share it with your friends.
stuffiness. And yeah, why not? Share it with friends. Friends are cool. And there we go. Y'all just have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night. Sleep tight and let the bed bugs bite.
Hello.
Bite 'em back.
Hello. Hello.